Well, hello again, YouTube. It's PD, and here we are with another exciting edition of PD Reads YouTube Comments. We're here on the Jack Taylor Guitars YouTube channel. And I had left a comment a month ago. Playing guitar incorrectly, as I am missing my finger tops on my fret hand. I have a Squier I've been playing, but that guitar looks really nice. He was demoing a guitar that he was giving away, and I was hoping maybe I could win it. I've never taken a lesson, but I need to learn so much. It's just that people tend to shy away when I tell them I'm missing finger tops, and I tune my B to a C. Here's the response that I get from Jack Taylor Guitars. That sucks that people tend to avoid helping you, man. And I want to expand on that. Every time I've ever reached out, emailed, or asked people about guitar lessons, and I've reached out to quite a few people, including Tony Iommi, many times. All sorts of pros, people in the industry. If I can get a contact, if I can get an email, I'm emailing them, asking them to help me out. Asking them maybe just give me one lesson, give me a Skype lesson, just anything to help me on this path that I'm on. And I have never had a single response. So Jack Taylor says, that sucks that people tend to avoid helping you, man. There's something about that sentence that it seems like he's trying to turn the tables on it to make it that this is about me. It's not like it can't be done, double exclamation point. I mean, Tony Iommi and Django Reinhardt are two similar examples. I hope you find someone who can help you learn, man. So I responded to this. Django was a talented professional when he had his accident. I was a kid with less than a month of guitar playing experience. Where Django had a ring finger, I have a pinky finger. So after Django's accident, he was left with an index finger and a ring finger that he was able to use to fret. In my situation, I do not have my ring finger. I have a pinky. Tony Iommi, who I gave up on wishful thinking that I would get a response from him after at least a half a dozen tries of contacting him via email to see if he was able to help me out with some prosthetics, because everything I've ever tried, they hurt. The way that I had this procedure done, which was called a VY digital block. I've explained this before on this channel, and it left behind scar tissue that runs down the center of my finger, and it's unbelievably painful. My whole hand is constantly going numb from the lack of circulation, and if it gets cold at all, my hand ices up and burns. So the idea of putting a prosthesis on there and pressing down on it, I've tried it, and it's too painful for me. The way that my fingers were reconstructed are different than the way that Tony's were. I believe his fingernail completely maybe covers that area. Maybe he grew it out, which mine are unable to do that. It looks like Tony's nail curves around it. So yeah, I did try contacting Iommi, and I never got a response back from him, and I gave up. But Iommi was able to use prosthetics, and I've tried, but I'm unable to use prosthetics. So at this point, I ask Jack Taylor Guitars if he even bothered to check my music out. Of course he didn't. Did he offer to help me? What he said to me is the worst possible response. Do you think I haven't heard this exact same response from people who are perfectly whole? So, getting back to the topic at hand, I have had so many guitar players. When I bring up my accident, I'm only trying to level the playing field because you imagine my unbelievable insecurity of barely being able to do this, but working through it to the point where I think I'm a passable guitar player. Okay? That's honestly how I feel about it. I feel like the amount of music that I've written and the amount of recording and live performances I've demonstrated through the body of work that I've produced over this 40 years of playing the guitar. I've demonstrated that I've done well considering what I have. But if you don't consider the fact that I'm missing fingers, you would say, well, this guy's guitar playing is very unusual. He's not playing much chords at all, and the chords that he plays they're missing notes all over the place. They're like half chords. So it's like a lot of one note lead lines that are really slow. So I've tried to use every trick in the book to make emotive music, to make something that hits in that same emotional, like good music has a response for me. So whether that's either something that's going to be like a joke, like sometimes the music that I write will have a sense of humor to it. It'll be a funny song in the way that the notes are played. Or something more serious that's supposed to be beautiful. And I'm proud of that work. And the only reason that I do bring it up is because I can't jukebox. I can't sit here and play, Led Zeppelin to Metallica riffs every time I pick up a guitar to try to fit in that club, which is what people do. I can't do these runs and shred. I'm unable to shred on the guitar. Okay. So I feel the need to level the playing field by letting other guitar players know, look, I'm only playing with a half of a deck here. And then they go, oh, well, it didn't stop Tony Iommi and Django Reinhardt. Yeah, because Tony Iommi was able to cheat. He was able to put artificial fingertops on. And Django Reinhardt had the use of his ring finger, which, comparing a ring finger to a pinky, my pinky is half the size of my ring finger. And it makes a huge difference. I don't have a very nimble pinky. It's 6 centimeters long. And my amputated ring finger is just under 8. And yeah, over 2 to 2.5 centimeters, it's actually 2 3/4. It's almost 3 centimeters wide versus 1.5 in width. So again, having to turn it into a measuring contest is not really why I signed up for this. And when I do bring that up, it's not an excuse as much as it is just leveling the playing field, because if you claim that you're a guitar player, you're supposed to pick the thing up and be able to do some kind of a lightning fast shredding run like Yngwie Malmsteen. And I'm not able to do that. You know, there was a while going back to the family band. We did a double album that's called 13. My daughter was 13 years old. She was fronting the band. She was singing the lead vocal, and we were doing covers. And I was doing a lot of 2-finger tapping. And you can go back and listen to that and hear that I was playing in that style where I would do the tapping and I stopped doing that as soon as we moved on and started writing original music, and I never went back to it. So there was that time when I was focused on lead guitar playing, when we had the full family band and we were playing songs that had guitar solos in them. Now when I'm writing my own music, I just don't write guitar solos into it. I just play it, and I just play emotively, you know. So to get back to the thing here, I'm subscribing to this guy. Fuck you, Jack Taylor. And let's see if he deleted my response again. Because this is the second time that I had to put this up here because he deleted it. So I have to, the reason I'm making this video is so I can see the video on my channel and come back here and see if this guy's going to delete it again to cover his ass. But the point that I'm trying to make is if someone is disabled and they mention their handicap, the worst thing you can do is what this guy did. Okay? This is the last fucking thing. Dude, I'm almost 60 years old. I've been doing this for 45 fucking years. Do you think you're that I don't know who Tony Iommi and Django Reinhardt are? Do you really think that I don't know that? And bringing up those two names in the same sentence is like, it's the equivalent of just kicking me in between the legs. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, the joke is not on me. You know, I'm the guy who has this body of work. I've accomplished my goals. I've recorded a mind-numbing amount of music. I've written a mind-numbing amount of music. And the live performances, there's a good number of them that have been captured and uploaded to this channel. So I have that body of work that I can stand on. And unfortunately, the position that I'm put in is by guys, competitive other types of guitar players, because it's a dick measuring contest and because it's a shred-a-thon, is that I feel like I have to bring it up. I have to level the playing field by saying I had an accident and I'm only playing the guitar with my index and my pinky. So one of the things I've started to do when I bring it up, I need to preface it and say before I'm honest with you about this really touchy personal subject that I don't like talking about, I'll have you know that it really hurts my feelings when people bring up two names. Because there isn't, they're not similar examples at all. If you read about Tony Iommi's journey and all of the stuff that he did to get where he is, including like switching over, like he switched from being a lefty to a righty. He did all kinds of stuff with the gauges of the strings and the amplifiers and the prosthetics. That's not my path. My fingertips won't let me put prosthetics on. So I'm like, I wouldn't have made the decision to call myself Petey Two Finger. I mean, that is my name. My name on my birth certificate is Peter. Okay, my middle name. But I wouldn't have named myself that if there was any chance I would be able to use more than my index and my pinky when I fret. You know what I mean? I was the one that had to sit on the edge of the bed after everything healed up, 60 days after the accident, and pick up the guitar again and see, all right, where are we at with this? And that was one of the darkest moments of my existence. Going from finding something that I felt like I could do as an adult. Before that, the only thing I could do was ride wheelies on a bicycle. That was all that I did. So how do you transition out of being the Papa Wheelie kid who, I'm just showing off my entire life into adulthood? Well, electric guitar is a pretty good segue into adulthood. And when I discovered guitar, I had a breath of fresh air because I was unable to play sports. I was unable to really do anything very well. And this was something that my older brother wasn't interested in doing. And in our family, it was all about the firstborn. It was this pecking order thing about the only thing that mattered was that, he was the perfect specimen and I was always going to be playing second fiddle to that. I was a piece of shit. I was a piece of garbage because I wasn't born first. So I carry around this unbelievable insecurity and this low self-esteem from the abuse that I suffered as a child, this traumatic, physically violent family that I grew up in where that stuff was tolerated, It came out later some of what I had to go through when I was informed, well, this is normal. This happens in all kinds of families. But it still, that didn't help me. When I overdosed on PCP and I cut myself up with a fucking steak knife, like 80 some stitches. It didn't help me that day that this happens in every family. And I still carry the shame and that unbelievable crushing low self-esteem. So finding the guitar for me was like a spiritual applique. It was like a healing salve for my blistering soul. And I knew this was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And then instantly, all of that is excised. It's all gone. In one swift second, a mistake that will ring out in eternity, reforming my identity. Petey Two Finger was born. And if you think that this is some kind of an excuse, or I'm playing games, or I'm trying to fish for sympathy here, if you think I haven't tried, if you think I haven't risen above, if you think that I'm not on that same list with Tony Iommi and Django Reinhardt, you're fucking wrong. You're wrong about that. Tony Iommi is, his guitar playing doesn't really do it for me. It's abrasive, it's crass, it's non-harmonious. It's like a vulgar joke, Tony Iommi's guitar playing. Django Reinhardt, on the other hand, I really admire. But at the same turn of the screw, apples and oranges. You know, this little piggy had roast beef, and my little piggy went wee, 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 wee all the way home. You know what I'm saying? So, Jack Taylor guitars, what you said to me was the worst possible response. Do you really think that I haven't heard this same response from people who are perfectly whole? People who are born talented, that have four fingers, who, you know, have been playing guitar for just a couple of years and they could play fucking circles around me because you're born talented and you have four fingers? It's a little different when you have to earn it. I guess you respect your gift a little more. Anyway, you guys, this type of thing, it's not. I really genuinely wish I didn't have to make this video that I made today. And this guy here, I think it's just that he's young. And he didn't really think. I would hate to think that people are genuinely that much of a C word that you would stand behind that. You would make a statement to someone who's handicapped and be like, "Suck it up, kid." When you never met me, did he pop over to my channel and listen to some of my music? Because I think if he did that, he would have said something about it. And that would have really made me, I'd be making a different video at this point. I'd be telling you guys, head over there and subscribe to this guy because he's a real deal human being. Unfortunately, all of those guitar players that have ever brought those two names up to me are... They're not that type of person that I would want to have anything to do with. How are you gonna? Somebody comes up to you and says, "Yeah, I had an accident," and you're gonna say, "Oh, it didn't stop Tony and Django." That's what you're gonna say? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I would have the gall to say something like that to somebody who is going to be honest and open enough with you. And Jack Taylor, it does suck that people fucking won't help me. People will not give me lessons. It does suck. Imagine trying to get a lesson and not being able to get it. That really does suck. Anyway, you guys, my kitty's here. Hi, Kita. You want a treat, buddy? We've got some good new ones. Mama just got some. Here they are. Where's your bowl? I've got them a little. It's a candle holder, which sits about 3.5 inches off the ground. And I like putting the treats in there so I don't want to. Here's your treat on the ground. It's like I got this candle holder and then I got a chrome magnetic parts dish. And that snaps on there onto this black candle holder. There you go, buddy. All right, you guys, like I always say, hug your pets. And I honestly, I'm sorry. I don't mean to come on here and it seemed like I needed to get this off my chest. So if you're still here, I love you. And peace.